Hello, and welcome back to another video. I think I say this because I don't have any introductions prepared, but you know, we have reached a milestone. This is gonna be, I'm gonna turn 22 in a few days, actually, and it's pretty crazy. It's like, feels like it's happening really fast, and I feel like, I don't know, it just feels so, I don't know, it's just happening so fast. It's happening so fast. And I feel like it was just yesterday. Well, I don't. It's just happening so fast. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be 23. This is such a hard video to make because I think about my life purpose and the things that I want to do and the things that I can't really sit with right now, and I wrestle with the will to keep going, to keep fighting myself in the things that I was raised with, things I can't help. And I'm tired of the blame. It's just so hard existing where everything sometimes just feels like darkness. It feels like this untangible pool of darkness, and it's at the times where everything's the most dark and everything is the most silent. There can be a TV show on, and I always struggle with the will to keep going. And I don't know how or why I did. Looking back at it, I don't know how. I don't know how I just continued to live. Because, throughout my life, I didn't have a good reason to. Nothing felt genuinely happy for me. I felt like I was just moving through the motions and living every day, day to day, just because. And I just would have all these thoughts as to why I was doing this. And then the next day would happen. Why I had to deal with this, why I felt the way that I did. I just remember it was just so clear as day. Everything was painted in darkness. And I haven't lived an exceptionally horrible life, right? So tell me why I had this undeniable darkness from within. Ever since I was a kid, I had no idea why I was put on this earth. I did not know why I should keep going. I don't know why I should have continued to keep going. I didn't understand it because I had no reason to. I had nothing that I could be proud of. I had nothing that I could wholeheartedly reach to because everything that I wanted felt unreachable. And I had my fair share of bad experiences. And then I had, hedonistic pleasures, and that's kind of what got me by. What got me to the next phase. It's like the ability, it allowed me to backstroke and just wait and just sit in that murky water, or float on the murky. It allowed me to float. But I wasn't really going anywhere. It's just directionless. And for so long, I think the first 10 years of my life, I have never felt more alone. I have never felt more misunderstood. I have never felt more useless. And my parents, I don't really think they showed me the love that I wanted. Their love was masked behind a lot of other things, materialistic things. The food on the table was their love. The fact that they're driving this place, that was their love. But I didn't feel loved. I felt like a product that existed, and this is pretty existentialist because the first 10 years of my life were pretty existentialist. And these are years of my life that no one has ever come to know. It's only me that lived it. And it's only me that carried the weight of that kind of lifestyle. And it seems that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't find the connections I wanted to. Not there. So I resorted to just keeping to myself and minding my business and moving on by. And then the next step was Long Island, which I realized what worked before didn't work now. And there's people that cared, and there's people that wanted more out of me, and there's people that showed me that they cared without being aggressive or rude. It was like crazy. And I remember thinking to myself if I even deserved that kind of love, because it was the first time I ever really received it, It was like appreciation for existing that I never thought that I needed, to be celebrated, to be appreciated, to exist, And it's true, I understand why my mom couldn't give me that, but I don't think I could ever, my body or my soul could ever forget that time, because it was the most darkest times of my life. And now is the closest feeling I feel to that. Like this feeling that the world is small, and in the most quiet times of night, you don't hear anything. And you just wrestle with the fact that, do you even exist? Why am I here? Why? Maybe people did appreciate your existence, and people recognize where you were in the room where you weren't. But I couldn't see that. It was just so lonely. So lonely. And if I knew anything about suicide then, I don't know. I think a part of me wished if I got hit by a truck that I could do that, because then maybe my mom would care. Maybe that she'd turn around and, give me a hug and say how much she loves me. And maybe I'd feel that sense of love and hope that I was looking for. But that didn't happen. And I got into fights. And I got into arguments, and I was in a place where I knew people didn't like me. I never understood why. Because at least at the time, after I grew up in Long Island, there is a new side of me that opened up. A side to me that I never thought existed. The side of me that wants to get to know anybody, that wants to be friends. It was like this side that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know I could be this wanting of want. And of course, when Taylor didn't like me, I was like, oh, that's right. This is the price to pay for happiness. You really just can't have it all. There has to be some level of karmic kickback. I don't know. There has to be a level of that. The consequence to being happy. Oh yeah, nobody can truly just be happy here. It's not how it works. There's always a price to pay. And I really truly believe that. Navigating the world by yourself as a child. Because my mom, I think she continued to be absent. There's no way that she could have, right? She got cut up. She got used. Another cog in the machine, Eventually, when my mom... I guess I could have become a drug addict, I guess. But, when my mom... when she got arrested and charged, I guess, with, child neglect or whatever... I think that moment changed our lives because my mom was slightly less absent. But it's because she was there, it ensued a lot more conflict. She didn't know how to communicate with us. She didn't know how to discipline us. She didn't know how to be there for us. So she was 30, 32, and she was a child too. And yeah. Then the darkness came back. And I remember that feeling. The darkness will come back in waves. There are times where I completely forget it's there. And there's times where it's all I see. And I'd do anything to stop feeling like that. And I mean anything. Funny though, I never really thought about gurgling up the alcohol. I never thought about doing that. I don't know. I must have been just a good thing. And I saw Peter drink all. I did not ever think about doing that for some reason. I just didn't want. I don't know. I didn't do that. But that's kind of my story. Or the first part of it. This feeling of happiness that I always chase. I know it's to be created. And I can't help but get caught up in other lives, other people, because I feel like from it I could find that thing that I've been looking for all my life, that star, that reason to keep going. Because if we're getting one thing with purpose, what I want out of life changes. There are things I like doing, But personally, it feels like it's not enough to just keep me going. You know, we can like sex or drinks, but it's not enough to just like it, you know? And, you know, I love singing and performing and dancing. It just feels really good. It feels right. And I feel like it's funny that it's even a career because it just seems so nice, you know? And it just like, in reality, maybe I just wanted that love that I never got. That comfort, that reassurance, that nurture that I never got. Because if I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard to keep going now. It's hard. And you see everybody move on and find themselves and understand so many different parts about life where I stay stagnant and I stay lost and I stay confused. And I think to myself, wow, where is the will of that? How could they find the will to do that, to work that hard? What are they fighting for? What is keeping them going? And I think what keeps me going, because it's my family. It's not. Sadly, it's not. As much as that breaks my heart to say. I don't have anything that fighting for it keeps me going. That keeps me thinking why I should go and get another step, you know? And one day, I don't know. I don't even know if there'll be a day that I'll find it. But one thing is for sure is that I don't know how long that can take sidestepping to the next phase of life. Because 22 is a big number. 22 is the number of most anchored patterns, but also one of new beginnings, I think. And if I can't fully accept the challenges and the challenging parts of it with joy, you know, the struggles, because that's the part where you get where you're going, you know. There's that struggles that set you back, and there's the learning, the life lessons, and for me, it becomes even more of a hindrance because I find another reason that much harder to live. So, yeah. If I could tell my past self one thing, I would say that I would say that you were very intelligent and you're very beautiful, and the world needs someone like you. And I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry you have to go through that. But I do love you, and I do think that you are a very resilient kid. And I know how lonely it is. But it's gonna be okay.